Are you feeling overwhelmed by clutter and unsure as to where to start? Let's talk through some strategies that you can put in place to make it feel less overwhelming and to feel motivated to declutter. Hello, my name's Rachel. I do videos about decluttering, minimalism and my no spend year, and today we're here to talk about when we're feeling overwhelmed by clutter. So if you're just beginning your decluttering journey and there is stuff everywhere and it's clutter, it's things, it's decision making, and it all feels quite overwhelming and you don't know where to start, then you're in the right place. Let's talk through some strategies that you can use to make it feel less overwhelming so that you can start feeling motivated to tackle the clutter. I've got 5 tips on where to begin when feeling overwhelmed with clutter. First up, start with food and clothes. These 2 areas encapsulate daily life, so making sure that you have got decisions made with regards to food, you know that everything is in date, you have gone through the cupboards, that it works, it's what you eat, and it's not going to be sat there being unused. Go through your food cupboards because this is something that you're going to access every single day, and you need to know that you can easily see what you have got. And it might be that you have to categorise and put into containers, it might be that you label areas so that it's really clear on how you're using it, but sorting out your food cupboards and your fridge and freezer can make a huge difference to the daily running of your life. And exactly the same goes for clothing. Clothing, every day you are making a decision about what to wear for clothes. So if you can go through each category within clothing, so tops, blouses, shorts, skirts, trousers, if you go through each area, decide what fits, what doesn't, anything that doesn't fit your style and is worn through or damaged, you could get rid of. You could also look at any clothes that you haven't worn in the last 12 months. If they're in good condition, these are good items that you could sell or donate to a charity, and that will get it out of your home quite quick. If you are selling, try and give yourself a window of time so that it's really quick leaving your home. So if it doesn't sell within a month, then you would pass it to charity. So that you are regularly going through, you're getting things out of your home quite quickly so that you can get on with other areas. Reducing down your clothes is going to make laundry that little bit easier because it's less to manage, less to maintain. It'll be easier to keep on top of it because there's not so much stuff going through the laundry, and you just know that you are going through it and you're putting it away. You're not going to end up having a big build-up of laundry because you leave it over time and it just ends up adding and getting bigger. Whereas if you have a lower inventory, there's only so far that your laundry pile can go. When you're going through your food cupboards, make sure you think about using things up that you know that you will use before the expiry date. Plan in healthy meals and make sure that you are getting the habit of only buying what you need and meal planning accordingly. I can share some more videos that I've done above about meal planning and saving money on your food and also how to declutter that area. Number 2 is to get in the habit of checking your schedule. Each week, before the week starts, you need to know exactly what's going on in your schedule. There are several ways you can do it. You could have a paper diary, you could use your phone. That's what I end up doing. I have everything in my phone, and then it's a really easy, quick check as to what I'm doing, and I know that I've got everything in there that is important, that is out of the ordinary for me. So I don't schedule in normal things, I just schedule in things that are additional that I need to try and remember. Once you know exactly what you're doing for the week, you can then plan in your time to declutter. So decide what is reasonable for you. If you can only manage 5 minutes before you sit down at the end of the day, then schedule in 5 minutes a day so that you can declutter. And just make sure that your area that you're working on is really small, and that will mean that you'll feel like you are accomplishing something. So just do 1 drawer in your bedside cabinet or 1 drawer in the hallway or in the living room, or clear 1 surface like the dining table, the kitchen counters. It will be manageable activities that can fit that time scale. If you can do more time, if you can do 15 minutes to half an hour, then you can schedule in a bigger section within your home and know that you are organising it as well as decluttering. The key here is to not overplan what you are doing when it comes to the time for decluttering and what you're decluttering. Just know that you're having a rough period of time scheduled so that you can know that you are going to get to it. I find if I time block, I'm more likely to get to that activity. Tip number 3 is to start small. This is really key to getting started with decluttering, especially when you're feeling overwhelmed. It's so easy to think, oh, I can't do it because there's just so many things. If I start this one, I have to go to this bit. If I go to this bit, I have to go to that bit. It just means that you're kind of ping-ponging around and not really honing in and getting some of the decluttering done. It makes you kind of step back and think, whoa, too much, I can't do it. The best strategy is to really start small and know that you can finish that area before moving on. So if your first challenge is to do the bedside table, that's a really small area. You've got the surface, you've got maybe a drawer or a cupboard or an open space. What do you want it to look like? Clear everything out of it, give it a good clean, and then decide what it is you do want to keep there, and then you need to make decisions about the rest. So decide whether or not it's something you want to keep but rehome somewhere else, or decide if it's something that you can declutter. And as you're starting small, it needs to be also regular, so you need to regularly be decluttering. This is why I suggest the little apps of decluttering, because getting in that daily habit of decluttering is going to make it easier to make those decisions when you get to bigger tasks. So doing small but regular is really going to make a difference to your overwhelm with decluttering. It becomes that little bit easier, it becomes that little bit more manageable, and you kind of feel like you're getting that success each time you finish an area. So if you want to follow along with my little apps of decluttering, I share them on Instagram, TikTok and my Facebook page, and I share them every day in a little video of what you need to declutter. You can also get a free download for the month on my website declutteryourlife.co.uk, and it's a free calendar PDF. You can also get a little apps of decluttering diary for next year. If you want to make next year your little decluttering journey, then that has all the little apps of decluttering mapped out for the whole year, ready for you to work on a little area at a time. Tip number 4 is to get the family involved. And it might be that they're not quite so keen as you to get started. If you know that you're working on it together, it can take off some of that pressure of feeling like you have to do it all. So you're going to have to lead by example to an extent. You're going to have to model it to them, but know that actually them helping is going to take away some of that overwhelm. It means you're not doing it on your own. So it could be that you start by going through clothes. Clothes are probably ones that you can do with children quite easily. You can do that. You know exactly what fits and what doesn't, and if it doesn't fit, it's not worth keeping in there. So you can either pass it to the next child down or sell it or donate it to charity. There are other areas that they might need to make decisions on. So it might be that they have a big pile of cuddly toys. It might be that they have 30 cuddly toys, for example. It could be that you get them to pick their favourite 5 or their favourite 10, and then say that they are going to be donating the rest to another child that is needing it, which is exactly what happens when it's taken to a charity shop. Somebody else will get the opportunity to have playtime with it. So it just means that they are understanding the process of they don't need everything, they've still got some, but they don't need the number that they have. It is a process and it does take a lot to get them on board, but it can really make a difference to how you feel about it if you know that you're doing it as a team. If you explain to them the benefits as well, that will help them to get on board. So it'd be easier to get ready in the morning, easier to tidy. The less stuff they have, the less they have to tidy. It does make things that little bit more manageable. And tip number 5 is to make simple morning and evening routines that include regular chores that just help you to chip away at them each day. You don't have to do the same chores every day. It could be that on a Monday you make sure that the kitchen has an extra tidy. It could be that on a Tuesday you do the living room, just so that you're focusing in on an area but it's making it manageable because it's part of your routine. If you know that your routine at bedtime is to always make sure that the dishes are done and the surfaces are clear, then that is a really simple way of getting yourself reset ready for the morning. It will help to make it easier to maintain the chores and to keep on top of things. So make sure that your routine includes little bits of chores that can be done whilst you're doing something else. So like if you're cooking dinner, what chores could be done in that room? What chores could be done in that room at the same time whilst you are cooking, because sometimes there's elements of waiting around, isn't there, as you're stirring, pouring, etc. what could you do in that time? Is that the time that you want to make sure that you're loading and unloading the washing machine? Is that the time that you want to make sure that all the dishes are done, up to date, ready to just have the new dishes for the dinner that you're cooking? So think about how you can incorporate things into a really simple morning routine and a really simple evening routine. So there are 5 tips to help you get started when you're feeling overwhelmed with clutter. Hopefully they will help you to unpick a little bit of the anxiety, but also motivate you to get started. Let me know in the comments below how you get on, and I shall be back for more videos soon. Take care, bye.